All right, Tosin. All right, hello, world, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yes, welcome to the Grown Podcast.
Yes, grown standing for greedy, rude, overbearing, willful, and definitely negligent. What a lot of us are in the world today.
I'm Ken.
And I'm his mother, Sparkle. Yes, I said his mother. So, son, I'm happy to be here, freshly moved to your city,
Yes.
Been here a couple seconds in the South, and I love it, I must say. I'm a Midwest girl, so, it's KC all day for me, but I had to move somewhere and change the scene and, change my mindset and my whole livelihood. So I'm happy to be here in the South, in the dirty.
Yes, the real dirty South.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're here and we can experience this together and, explore and just enjoy life,
Yeah.
Ain't too much going on up there. So.
There's nothing going on up there. It's all good. Plus, I love the weather. I love the warm weather. I don't care if I don't see another snowflake in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. So, son, I have to ask, you've been here since when? 2020?
Yes, I came during COVID.
All of 20. So what was that like? I mean, from the Midwest, you're basically just dropped off, in a new city.
Y'all left me by myself. You actually came down. You was the only one that came down.
Oh, yeah.
It was
my baby.
Commute. I know, it was like such a huge commute, so I couldn't even,
be
mad. But it was very intense. On the way here, the car broke down.
Oh, the U-Haul.
No,
that was
car.
your car. That was your car. Ooh. Yes.
That was real bad.
And it was $1,400 to get us the rest of the way. I remember that.
Yes. And then we were only in St. Louis. We didn't even make it halfway. We were
4 hours out of KC.
And 10 more to go. It was just not,
That was wild.
That was wicked.
I forgot about that. Wow, it sure was. It was a time. Then we were pulling the trailer in the back.
Yeah.
Hear me, single mom me.
Yes. We did it though.
We did it. We made it.
Yes.
So then you got here. Okay, so what was college life like at an HBCU?
It was so crazy because I feel like my school, I didn't know much about it. I didn't know nothing about Xavier when I went there. I didn't even know it was really Catholic until we toured. And that was we toured the week before I moved down here. Most people come in May or way before and they do a whole bunch of schools. But I really was just I don't know, it wasn't even the school that I was set on. I was just set on the city.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what also made the HBCU experience different as well, because most HBCUs are in a smaller town or the towns that they're in. It's not really set around Black culture. And I feel like New Orleans is such a Black city that it made the HBCU experience so much more Black,
Okay.
And Black accepting. And it was a norm to see successful people, and not even just successful, just all types of people, creative. It just made me feel real comfortable, and then it made the experience I wasn't just so set on focusing on school. I was here to focus on I could live.
Okay.
I could enjoy. I could do different things,
Yeah, because you did end up staying. I have to admit, at first you wanted to go to Prairie View. You were gung-ho on Prairie View, and I'm when I saw I had to fly into Houston, rent a car, and then drive 45 minutes or whatever to Prairie View, Texas, I'm I don't know about that. I want something a little closer where I can get to you, if I need to get to you.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So do you regret not going to Prairie View? Because that was kind of something that I said no to as a parent.
I don't, because the only reason I wanted to go to Prairie View is because it was lit. It was fun. It was the party school. They were a newer HBCU. The amenities were nice. That's really the only reason.
Okay.
My school, because I had to stay in the Mikes, and y'all don't know, the Mikes it's a historical building, right? And they cannot tear it down. They can't change anything of it because it's a historical landmark.
Okay.
So it looked like a prison. Kid you not, it looked so bad in there. And that was the only all-male dorm that we had. So it was no other option, really. And then, because it was during COVID, we had no roommates. So everybody had to have their own room. We couldn't have roommates. So the dorm got filled quickly because normally it's 2 to a room.
Right, so you get half the students that you can house. Yeah, I forgot. COVID, man, it's you almost forget that COVID ever came. I mean, you don't forget, but you tend to forget at times because
it just flew.
It did. It came and it seemed like it was forever. And then now we're back to
But I also feel
normal.
At the same time, you don't forget it because the world is so different now. It's we had a pre-COVID world, and then when COVID happened, everybody moved different. Every aspect of America, or really the world, but everybody operates differently now. Just even subtle things you can't cough in public no more, and without somebody it's so many things.
Guilty, because if you cough around me, baby, I'm looking to make sure you didn't cough in that crease of that arm, because yeah, it does make you paranoid, because it's the thing, and it's still a thing. It's spiked up here in New Orleans. Kids,
Yeah, recently.
recently,
And I'm
the
an
last couple
esthetician,
weeks.
and that really affects me and my business and my clients, and like it was like a real scare, and it still is, especially like with the most recent stuff spiking. Even like regular sicknesses, the flu, and all those things have an effect. Now this is just something else to be. I don't want to say fearful, but you got to be real cognizant.
Yeah, well, I do specifically remember, my doctor telling me that, this is the new flu, so basically
Yeah.
it's not going to go away, but it's going to be like the flu. And if you think about it, one of those strains of flu, because there's like almost 300 flu strains, if I'm, and don't quote me on that, but I remember hearing that. I always listen to the doctor. But anywho, all those strains, the Black Plague, that is one of the flu strains. But now, of course, we've evolved and we're more, resistant to it. But we still have those flu-like symptoms. It's just not going to kill us. More than likely, not going to kill us. Although people still die from the flu, I assume people are still dying from COVID. They're just not really speaking about it because we don't have as high numbers.
Yeah.
As we had before. But yeah, it changed life. Yeah.
And everything is just so high now, and that's a whole other issue. But it's just, ugh, the economy is just a lot differently. We rely on things so much differently than we did, And
it's crazy. There's a lot of things crazy right now. That's why we had to do G.R.O.W.N. The world is crazy, and politics and education. I'm a former teacher who had a step parent who was an administrator. I've been around the school system for years and years, and even I see the change before I even became a teacher of how it is now. It's crazy.
yeah,
And I don't know if that was just where I was from, but I have to assume that this is an issue in a lot of in urban places at that, because I was an urban teacher and that's all I have to compare. But man, it's nothing like it was when I was in school.
yeah. Even the kids though are a lot different. Like, they learn on the computer now. Everything is virtual.
Yeah, everything's virtual.
Yeah, it's just a different world. A lot of them don't have basic skills. That they can't read, they can't write. It's just we have to operate so much more differently, and it's concerning, but it's exciting to explore something new. I guess.
Yeah, it is. How's it affected, because you've been here the last 4 years, how's it affected the city in which people move? Because this is a resort city. This is a city known to have people everywhere, festivals all throughout the year. So what do you see that's different now after COVID that
Honestly,
compared to what
New
it
Orleans
was?
is so like historical, and they try to keep that old time feel to it. They try to keep their roots, their traditions. So a lot of things have not changed, like technologically, because that was a lot of scares for a lot of people. Like like even at McDonald's, they have the little kiosks now, and nobody's taking orders. And we are a city where you have to speak to people, you have to be friendly, and like be face to face with a lot of people. So I wouldn't say that it really affected too much, like because we still have that like tradition, where you have people that work. You don't have. It's not a very technologically advanced city.
Okay, it's slow here.
It's slow.
It's slow here. I will say that you're right. A lot of things are traditional, but that's what I like about it too. At the same time, and it's crazy to me because I've never been here before Katrina. So my assumption about here is really kind of how it still is, comparing it to what it may have been like before Katrina, meaning mostly black city, still you still have a lot of poor people here, still touristy. It was touristy, before then, and a lot of the people here are from here. So, a lot of people moved back after Katrina. I even met a lady last week. She moved back here after Katrina just like a couple weeks ago. So people do come back here as opposed to other places where people just kind of desert and they never go back to. So you still get the same kind of vibe here because a lot of those, people, at least from the state of Louisiana, came back here after everything got cleared out from Katrina. But baby, looking at that documentary, it was like a war zone. I mean, it was dirty. So they've come a long way.
Yeah, they have experienced a lot. And I love how they still have their roots with them. Like, they didn't let that stop their shine. They're still happy people. They're still loving people. That is so amazing because that could really break you,
Yeah.
It's so traumatic to have to go through. I feel like we haven't really had much trauma as far as disaster, like that kind of thing. Like, we've had with the Joplin tornado, that kind of thing, which was very horrible. But, like, the entire city was destroyed.
Yes, yeah, New Orleans, yeah, as a whole was
So it's
destroyed.
like,
Not just the pathway way through. Yeah, you're right.
like your aunt, you can't go to your grandma's or nothing. You know, when you just stay, you can't do none of that. It's like everybody has everything gone, and then when you lose everything, it's like I can imagine just having to start from scratch. Like I think about that all the time. Like it's different than just, oh, I lost my home, I'm gonna call the insurance, like, or FEMA. No, like you have to get everything from scratch. You have to get silverware, you got to get underwear, you got to get toothpaste, all these little things that seem so minuscule that like it's like you're starting from scratch, like having a new baby. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Uh,
sad.
We couldn't imagine. I mean, and those that were affected by the Joplin tornado, they probably don't understand. Their house is gone. They got all new houses. You know, where the other ones were, they had to be. They weren't completely already obliterated. They had a demo so they could start anew. So that's crazy. But yes, the people here of New Orleans, they still have their spirit. They still are happy people. I told I told my son today at Walmart, it's the first child I've heard cry. You know, you don't hear a lot of kids crying and sad. You know, everybody here is just happy to be alive. You know, you can just really, y'all can learn from that. You know, a lot of us were ungrateful.
Yes, I was just about to say that. They're so grateful and blessed for what they have, and that's such a fulfilling spirit to have.
Yeah, even if they ain't got nothing, they still happy. You know, and that's
and they're kicking it,
and they are party. I guess that's the difference, I guess, from urban life. Because in urban, you know, living in the inner city, it's the hustle and bustle. Everybody wants to work so they can have, and you know, showboat what they got or what they drive or what they wear. Whereas here, they don't care. You can go anywhere. You can wear sweatpants, you know, and you won't be looked at any different.
Right.
You know, and I love that about here. It's the joy.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to be somebody you're not or try to keep up with anybody.
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, come as you are. Like it's real.
It's real, and the food is bomb. Man, on the I can't even think of guy's name. He's got a little, you know how they'll give you the critique on the food. Not Keith Lee. Okay, not Keith Lee.
The other one.
He's another one.
Yes, I know you're talking
He's
about.
Pretty famous.
He had a bad review, I think. Is that
he had a bad review of New Orleans, and he's talking about the food's trash here. I'm like, bro, I challenge you. I don't know where you been, but come to New Orleans. We know where it's at. Yeah.
But they were saying that he was going to places that tourists go to, and it wasn't places
that you got to get out.
People will go.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, he did go to places that he asked people, I believe, where he should go, and he went to them places.
But that's what he does. Keith Lee, he's real for that. He will go, yeah. He'll take your recommendation. He'll go in the hood, whatever. Hey, and a lot of those restaurants they take out after he visits, so I ain't mad at him. And he's eating. I should have had that job.
Right.
Go try food and tell you what I think about it. I'm a big foodie. Yeah. Yes,
What's your favorite place that you tried since you've been here?
Ooh.
I know there's like so many. Like nothing is bad.
I have to have categories. Okay, I got categories of things I like in different places. I have to say that there's not like one and done restaurant that I can say I like, because everybody has something unique. It's like being from Kansas City and we have barbecue everywhere, and you know I can't say that there's a number one barbecue place. Now, hold up, Kansas City, they gonna be mad at me or whatever because everybody's got their thing. Gates, to me, when they're on, is number one.
Yeah.
Okay. Gates barbecue all day. You know what I'm saying? To me, barbecue is good if you can eat it and not even have to put sauce on it. Just like a good steak. If it's a good steak,
you don't need
no sauce on it, and it's good. That's a damn good steak. So for me, like I said, when they're on, Gates is number one. And it's something about that sauce that's very unique. You know, it's not Texas. It's not the thick, sweet barbecue sauce. It's its own spicy sauce. So Gates, yes. But we got a lot of other spots, too, that I like there that are good to me for certain things. Q39, I like their sausage. Kind of pricey, but their sausage is very unique.
Yes.
Very unique.
Yeah, and there's like a jalapeno cheddar or something.
Yeah, something that's got season. You can tell that was made in-house. So we got some spots, you know. I like Arthur Bryant's. A lot of people don't like their sauce. I'll get it on the side, but when I go to Gates, I get the sauce on the side. That way I can choose how much of it or what if I feel like having that. But like I said, if the barbecue was good, it doesn't need sauce. Arthur Bryant's has good meat. Okay, once you get through slide on the floor to go up there and pay for it. Yeah. Now I'm in a position when I go, or since I got family still back there, hey, I need this sauce, I need this sauce.
Yeah.
Yes, but I told you the best sauce is when you mix Gates with Masterpiece. KC Masterpiece and Gates. I challenge everybody to try it.
I don't really ever go to Masterpiece.
I don't go to Masterpiece. I've been there maybe once or twice in my entire life. But I mean, that barbecue sauce is real thick and sweet and hickory and real chocolate brown. But if you mix that with classic Gates, I'm telling you,
because Gates is kind of like tangy,
spicy. But you mix, I'm telling you, I challenge everybody. Because if you're gonna, I don't like barbecue sauce on my meat. Some people will grill with the barbecue sauce on the meat.
Yeah.
But if you grill with that, baby, I'm telling you, that's a whole different level of flavor. Yeah. But so, back to the questions. I didn't really answer it.
Yes, that's Kansas City. That's Kansas City. Yeah.
I had to go into the backstory. Maybe I'm barbecue sick right now. I ain't homesick, but I'm barbecue sick. There's so much good. I mean, they got good food at the gas station. Where back in Kansas City, you dare not eat in the gas station. You don't know what you're getting, how long it's been sitting there being warmed up. So it's tough to say. But if I have to go for flavor and seasoning, that's hard to say because like one restaurant might have good red beans and rice, and this restaurant got good gumbo. Mm-hmm. My husband said he was like, he liked the gumbo at all the restaurants we went to, but they were all different. Yeah. Now you might have seafood in this gumbo, but this gumbo is chicken and sausage. This has a real dark roux. This is a lighter roux. But the flavor, even though it be slightly different, it's basically, I don't want to say the same, but it's gumbo. Yeah. So it just depends on, what you have a mood for. I don't know. So I really cannot answer that question. I just got stuff that I like at the places I go to. Yeah. I guess that's it. So when I'm in the mood for this, like at the sweet potato beignets I'm craving, I'm going to have to go to Mondays,
Get down.
Yes.
Yeah, so good.
Yes. Even the chicken cracklings Mondays. Even though I get them at Cabby's, but yeah.
Mondays got the best. And I swear people, they hate on Mondays. Like, they really do not be, like, really rocking with Mondays.
Mondays is cool.
I love Mondays. I only really get the happy hour menu, mind you. But that's all you really need is a happy hour menu.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you ball on a budget. You go to happy hour. Yeah. You still get your fine dining experience and you get to drink, but everything's a little bit cheaper.
And you can taste everything. Because I'm a person, I like variety. Like, I want to try everything on the menu.
A little sampler.
A little sample plate. Mm-hmm. Like, I like a little baby shower plate. I want to try a little bit of everything. I want a little meatball.
Gotta have some choppers.
Yeah, like a little small plates. I like that. I like those things. Because that's going to let me know, like, like I hate when you go to places and you're like, oh, I want to try this place. And then you try it and it's like, it was nasty. But maybe it wasn't nasty. Maybe it was just that dish you didn't like.
Yeah, you got to try. Yeah, you're right. And you kind of do have to sample around to be able to tell. Even if that's what I like about buffets. Because you kind of sample and see what you like and what you don't like. And you might really like something, or you might really like a few things, or you might really like all things, or you might like, not like anything. So I feel you on that. I guess you get that from your mama. I like my little variety. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Because then I can kind of say, like, okay, this is my spot. I like this from there. I'm going there for tacos. I'm going there because they have this on the menu.
Right, right.
Or I'm going there for just the drinks. Then you'll know. Instead of completely rolling out the place. I feel like a lot of people, they just don't fully...
They don't take it in and then try to experience everything there's experience. And you really do have to try, a few things to find your thing in a restaurant. Yeah. Even in something nasty or fast food, McDonald's. Everybody has something they eat from McDonald's and they only probably eat that one or two things. Yeah. I don't even know if it's just black people, like our drinks, We have this one drink. Black people, we have this one drink we like, maybe two, maybe three, and we're not going to drink anything else outside of that.
You like what you like.
You like what you like and you stick with it, Okay, even if it's soda. You're a Pepsi drinker, you're not going to want to drink Coke. And, things like that. Sprite, you're not going to want 7-Up. It's not the same. So... We like what we like. But so, what is your favorite restaurant?
Okay, see now I feel like when you say you like things for different reasons, I was like thinking you're talking about like seafood or Creole or different kind of those kind of things. Definitely my favorite chicken in the whole place, like fast, quick food, is Manchus. I love Manchus chicken. It's
fried chicken with fried rice.
Yes, so good. I don't like the red shrimp. They use some little bitty red shrimp. I don't like those.
I haven't had those.
It's like deep, like dark red. I don't know what kind of shrimp it is.
It soaks it in beets. Beet juice. I don't know.
Like, I'm like, is this food coloring? Like, I don't know what is going on, but it still tastes the same, I guess. But I don't like those little shrimps.
Does it taste away?
It tastes like shrimp. It just, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is in my brain. I just can't. It don't work for me. It don't work for me. So I really try to avoid the rice. But I love their chicken. Who would I say is my favorite? That is such a
As I
complex
said,
question.
it's very like if, this is your last meal on Earth. I would be so hurt because you're gonna go to 4 places to get.
I know. I'm gonna think about that. Like I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think
My
about
ideal meal.
it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna think about it. Let me think about that because I really don't know right at the moment.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that. What about, okay, here's one. Let's see if it works for you. What's your favorite festival? Because this is like a festival every weekend, maybe more than one festival every weekend. What's your face?
I love French Quarter Fest. Like that's like my favorite. All the restaurants. When I see all the restaurants in the French Quarter like come out and their food is just so good. The lines are long, but I love that. And Fried Chicken Festival, and that's coming up.
Okay,
That's
yeah, I'll be there. I sure will. I love me some fried chicken.
Yes, it's like the best. It's like fried chicken, but like they have dishes with fried chicken, you know. But it's so good. It's so good.
I love fried chicken. I'm down to try it. I do too. I'm a foodie.
Yeah,
I'm a foodie. I have to eat a lot of it, but I want to taste it. I want to taste some stuff,
I feel like, sorry to cut you off. I feel like that's what helped me make friends too, is being a foodie, because I just love to be like, let's go here. Or like even dating wise, it's like I never had a awkward date. We're going out to eat. Like it's good, we're enjoying.
It's always a good date.
Yeah. Who doesn't like to eat? Like, if
Yeah.
you don't like to eat, like I feel like that's just
I don't know. I mean, that's what we do. That's American. We eat.
Yeah.
We have so many options here. It's different from going abroad. Like we went to Spain, and even though they had a few of the fast food chains we have here, they had a KFC and a Burger King. It was not the same menu. Mm-hmm. It doesn't taste the same. But when you go places, even like their gas station, you're getting real food. So it's like, there was not much variety, I guess. But we have so much variety here. You can get Mexican food, you can get Chinese, Vietnamese, everything.
This dude, like the downfall of that is everything is so fake. Like, vegetables and the fruit have like all the GMOs and chemicals and sprays. The chicken is steroid. Like we have so much variety, but like so much of it is bad. Yeah, it's not fresh.
That's true.
Add all these dyes and colorings and red 40s and like it tastes so good on the tongue. But like our body just really can't handle that, That's the only downfall.
You're right. I didn't think about that because we're so, I don't say ignorant, but you're oblivious when you go to get your meat. Unless you go to a farmer's market or somewhere where you're guaranteed that this is actually fresh food, or like some of our brother-in-laws, the Kenyan friends and cousins, they go, choke their own chicken and kill it and pluck the feathers and old school, like we used to do it once upon a time, but I guess our busy lives, and then I can't think of, I'm even looking at my age group, so I won't even go any younger. Who's gonna choke the chicken and do all that? Pluck the feathers and cut it up.
But back then, ancient times, that's what life was about. Life was just about living, and I feel like it was hard to work, but they weren't working 40 hours a week at a job, so they would spend the whole day preparing to eat.
Yeah. Well, if that was your job, everybody had a role. It's like, that's why they bartered. Hey, you do this, but I do that, so let's exchange, and then we can all have, because we all have something different to bring to the table.
Yeah.
And now everything here is so competitive. It's human to want more, but a lot of people want to have above everybody else. And everybody has their reasons. I mean, who would want to be poor? Broke, in this time. And we don't have a lot of farming going on, or people so shout out to the farmers. Not very many.
And Amish. I think they're the farmers.
They are probably here in this country one of the oldest, I'll say, I don't want to call them a religion, groups of people who have lived and sustained, who have not conformed to modern society. They still do a lot of things. Some of them have upgraded. I see them at Walmart. They got a car. They're not pulling the wagon. Some of them a little more modern. Might have a TV, somewhere in their compound or whatever, village. But for the most part, they still do things a lot fresher or from scratch. So shout out to them and them pastries, baby.
I said they be coming through at the farmers market. The Amish people, they got everything. School this, pickled that, homemade, seasoning, everything. Yeah, they nice. Yeah. I couldn't imagine living that life though. But I guess if you didn't know anything else,
you don't have anything to compare.
Yeah.
Well, I forget. They used to have a reality show. That's how long it's been since I watched reality show.
What you talking about?
Yeah, yes. Growing up Amish or whatever, and they got the chance to leave at 18, and they have so much time to go up in the world. And they can decide to come back, or they can stay, out of the world. That's crazy. Can you imagine? Culture shock. Your first time you leaving your village or your compound or your group of people, and it's a whole other world that you didn't see on the internet. You didn't read about, you didn't visit with. Hey, shout out to them. That's something. So, if you could change anything about your experience here, what would you do differently?
I think I would live in the city. If I could do anything different, that's like the one thing I like. I love my house. I love my house, but I just don't like the distance, and it's not like even that far.
Right.
But like the walkable part of the New Orleans is like such a different experience. So I feel like if I lived in the city, I could just be able to experience so much more. Like it's not just like, oh, I'm just living like this urban life, seeing the same people that grew up around these parks. Like the city, they have so many different little areas, and everything is right there. And like I always tell people, like it feels like a mini New York, like a very, very, very small one, but it does feel like a mini New York here. Like it's very free and vibrant, and like I just want to be able to experience that life of living in the city because that's where everything is.
Okay.
Everything's in the city.
Okay.
Where I live, I mean, they say this stuff on the West Bank, but I feel like it's just a different kind of experience to be like on the outskirts.
Yeah, that's still more suburban like, I will say, because you have the chains.
Yeah.
Whereas in the city, in the urban core, you don't have a lot of chains and chain restaurants. You have all your mom and pop businesses and boutiques and galleries and So
and then all the strips like Magazine Street, and then you have Oak Street, and then you have the Quarter and the Bourbon Street and like Frenchman. It's like all these little areas and pockets. Whereas like where I live, it's like you have to drive. You don't
have a variety to choose from.
Yes, that's what I'm
like you
trying
do
to
in the
say.
city. Okay, well, it's kind of like Kansas City's come around, it's gentrified down, and more every day. But Kansas City is not, it's not as black. I'll say that.
Yeah.
The black population is not as prevalent as it is here. Here, this is like DC. There's nowhere you're gonna go, especially in the city, that you're not gonna see black people. Whereas Kansas City, you can go certain areas, you're not going to see as many. For example, if you go over Ward Parkway area, still Kansas City, but you're not going to see a lot of black people. So here, even if you go where nicer houses are, there's going to be a couple of us, a couple chocolate chips in that cookie. We're in there, like somewhere, So that's the difference, I think. And everything is crunched together here, whereas Kansas City, we're kind of a little bit spread out a little bit. So maybe that's the difference. Like I said, the segregation in Kansas City, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You don't see the segregation in the city of New Orleans.
It's
like
so
you do.
mixed.
Yeah, it's very diverse. I don't know how it was before Katrina, but
they do say it was a lot different. Now, I don't know about the city part, but like the different areas, like they would have, like the East used to be the black suburb,
Right.
And now it's like, ooh, like the East is.
It didn't get rebuilt post Katrina a whole lot. You still see a lot of abandoned buildings and whatnot there. Yeah, I could see that. Even like parts of Uptown that were black, they're not a whole lot of black people. Different other areas, not just Uptown. So yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, I get it. The urban feel. I like the urban feel. When I live downtown KC, where I can just walk everywhere. If you got a bike or a scooter, you're cool. Like everything is there for you. Bars and restaurants and whatnot. So I get it. You don't need a car really when you live in an urban life like that. So.
And then they have the bus, they have the streetcar, they have like certain things. And I feel like with that, it's so helpful. Like the streetcar, especially, they love that here because you can get everywhere, like basically in the city on the streetcar. You don't have to take the bus. The bus is more for like out, like if you want to go a longer distance.
Okay.
I could take the bus to the West Bank. I can take the bus out to Mary. I can, which I'm sure people, you do use it like to get around the city, but the streetcar is so much more convenient. I feel like if you live in the city or if that's, your area, your district.
Right.
So, I love that little feature. Like it's cute.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's been there forever. I don't see that being something new at all.
Yeah.
To the city.
I mean, definitely before the buses, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much so. Very much so. Yeah. Okay. So, aside from living in an urban area, anything else would you have stayed at and finished at Xavier?
I did finish.
As I said, would you have went to a different? Because there's a few HBCUs here, So it was Xavier just because they catered to at that point in time your degree.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to do it again, this is what I tell the people that go to Xavier because they understand. Xavier is good because of the name. It's like a black Harvard.
Prestigious.
It's prestigious. It has a name. It carries a title. So when you automatically tell people, "Oh, I went to Xavier, I graduated from Xavier," it's like, "Whoa!" And people tell me all the time, like, "Congratulations!" or "That is just so huge to even be able to get in the school, but let alone finish from there." So I would go for that reason, or I did really go for that reason. But at the same time, I didn't feel like they necessarily cared about the student life and like how just the whole experience as a student. It was more catered to just like getting the numbers in and like being this name. And I just feel like a lot of areas that they lack, which is like a whole nother topic, but like, yeah, I would only go for that. I would only really go for the name. It wasn't. It was. It was small. I didn't like that. It didn't have much of a social life, and I went during COVID, so that was like double negative.
Yeah, yeah.
It just it didn't meet my expectations of what I really thought college was going to be.
Okay.
But it still did give me some experience, so I can't even like be too mad at it. Like I don't regret it, but
Okay.
I would do it differently if given the option. And I only went there for 2 years, so it was like I didn't really get to take it all in. A lot of people went there for 4. Most people are there for doctoring and medicine. So they're there for 6. They come in undergrad together and then finish in med school together, or pharmacy.
Yeah.
2 years later, and like they are really like bound to each other, and I just don't really have that kind of experience.
Since you were only there 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shout out to you, because it took me 6 school years, and 12, full years to even finish. Probably longer than that, Lord. Long time,
You finished though.
I finished. I did finish, but and as a teacher, I always told my students, college may or may not be for you, but I just challenge you to try it.
Yeah.
Because one thing college did do for me is it taught me how to think.
Yes.
And I hate to say that, as poor urban Black folks, we're not taught how to think. And it may happen just for Black people, rural towns too. We're not taught how to think at school. And so because of certain situations and limitations in life, not taught how to think at home. Your parent doesn't teach you how to think.
Yeah.
Your parents too busy trying to make ends meet, and it's just my story growing up poor. Some of us have had different experiences and better experiences, if you will, with what's taught to you in the household. And it doesn't make your parent better or worse, by the way, but I didn't live with a mindset of, hey, I'm going to college. I didn't even live with a mindset of, hey, this is what I'm going to do with my life. Some people just have it. Like they'll tell you they've known their whole life they wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, and they've stuck with it and they persevere. But I can't think of one thing that I would say or tell myself as a kid that I want to do, and I don't, even now, hey, at my age, there's still not one thing I want to do. And I want to be open. I want to try a lot of different things. And I guess that's why I got a lot of different things under my belt at this point in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same kind of way though. I don't want to just do one thing. It's like you have so many talents. I just feel like that's such a robotic way of living, to just be stuck with one job or just one, that I'm so multifaceted, jack of all trades. Like I want to do so much. Like I'm athletic, I'm personality, I'm artistic, I'm intelligent. I have so many different things that I do that I just couldn't imagine just having to do
one thing. That's right. Nobody should have to. Try whatever. Do everything you want to do, no matter the age. It's your life.
Yeah.
No do-overs. So make the most of what you do have. Do it. That's all I say. Just do it. Don't keep thinking about it, ponder. Oh, I wish I could do. Just do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hardest part. It's just starting.
It is. That is the hardest part. Once you start, things take flight.
Yes. For those of y'all that don't know, I've went to esthetician school. I've done college, 2 different colleges. I did college in high school, so it's been a lot of school. I've tried so many different things. I've just been in school my whole life, literally, and I've just tried so many different niches and avenues. I'm very grateful and blessed, but I just am glad I got to experience more than one thing, because I did almost start off. Remember, I was working in corporate. I was an insurance agent, and I thought that that's what I wanted to do. I was like, that's what I was told. You grow up, you go to college, you get this job, you make this money, you get a house. Like you have all these steps that they tell you, But I'm so happy that I didn't. Even though I have my ups and downs, because I could be solid with it. Maybe, who knows, with a 9 to 5. But I love being a makeup artist. I go to work every day happy. I don't feel like burnt out. I don't feel like, ugh. And that's how I felt in corporate. It just did not align with me and what I felt like I wanted to do, It just felt like I was putting on a persona that I wasn't. I don't want to do that every day. Imagine 365 days a year.
Yeah, that's why people are miserable and on medication sometimes. Yeah, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's another thing I tell students. But I do challenge every one of them. Try college, at least try it if you think you're competent enough to try it. Because like I told you my story, I worked with somebody, and this was 20 years ago. They were making $35 an hour, and I'm making $12. And we're doing the same job. The only difference between she and I was the fact that she had a degree and she was a straight Teletubby. Like, oh my gosh, like the dingiest I don't want to say dumbest, but she couldn't tie her shoes. But she has a degree, so she's making $35 an hour. I'm making 12. I'm like, they must be giving out degrees. I gotta finish this. I have to finish this. And that was my motivation. And I was like, I can't, man. 35 an hour. Back then, shoot, it's really something now, depending on where you are in life. 35 ain't too bad.
Yeah.
You know, the guy at Walmart that's making $18 an hour.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. Like, I had to work 2 shifts.
Yeah.
You know, to be able just to, sustain and be I'm not even rich. I'm not doing anything big at $36 an hour, but good Lord, 18?
Yeah. That's hard.
You just
in
imagine,
this economy.
especially in this economy, especially if you have kids, or if you're in a city or a place that because rent is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Rent, good Lord, rent is 3 times what my mortgage was. It's always cheaper to own or buy or whatever, but rent, oh my gosh. You almost have to have a roommate or, live with somebody or your family or whatever because it's so expensive to have a place. I don't know what it is like in the country and the rural area, but in the city.
Yeah, it's so hard. Everything is like 3 times the price, like you said. Like it used to be like $500, $600, $700 apartments, and now it's like $1,500 is like the base, the minimum.
Yeah.
If you want something decent, like no white refrigerator, like it's not.
I guess bigger city.
Yeah. I
guess unless you live somewhere that's really rural and everything's cheap, and it depends on your state. Certain states, you can live like a king, $1,500. Certain states.
Like people in New York, like that's the people I always think about. I'm like, they're paying like $3,000. California, like they're paying like $3,000.
It's half the studio.
Yes, and they don't even get a bathroom sometimes. It's like communal, and I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And people choose that life. That's so crazy. You're
urban
person.
Urban. Yeah, that's really urban. I could not imagine. It just reminds me of I always thought about, you look at like documentaries or whatever and look at how some of the Chinese, the big cities, how they live, the little bitty matchbox apartment. Yeah. I can't imagine the space.
All on top of each other.
All on top of each other, little, and true enough, you really, at the end of the day, don't need a lot as a person when you're used to having so much space.
Yeah. And
then having to cram down, that's a culture shock. I'm not ready for the tiny house. I'm not ready, to live in the trailer or whatever. Hey, but to each his own. Hey, you there. If you can dwell like that, you'll survive a lot of things. But we're kind of spoiled in certain areas here of the United States. We get our space. Yeah, it's crazy.
We're drinking bubbly sangria. This is the blood orange pineapple. She's kind of good. This is whose brand? They don't even have.
That's Cooper's Hawk.
Oh,
now we need in New Orleans. Cooper's Hawk, if you're watching, we need you in New Orleans. We gave you some free promo here. We need you in New Orleans. I'll become a member again. Just something cute to do. I love the little wine tasting. I'm good right there. Thank you. At Cooper's Hawk, I fool with Cooper's Hawk. People can say if they want to, it's generic or whatever, but
Cooper's Hawk is cool.
They haven't disappointed me yet, and very reasonably priced, depending on your budget. They do have happy hour. All right, we're back. Refilled, replenished. I hope you have your mimosa or your champagne or wine or whatever it is, your water or your Kool-Aid or your fruit punch or your Diet Coke and a smile. So. I get a lot of questions too, or get just people are people. You get mixed feelings and feedback. When people find out that you have a gay child or whatever, especially from, and I hate to say this, but a seriously religious person, people, Christian and some Muslim. I guess it's forbidden, or in their religion, which in Christianity. It's not forbidden. God loves everybody, but that's another subject for a whole other episode. But I do always get asked, how does it feel to have a gay son?
Yeah.
And I'm like, doesn't feel any different. Just I'm not gonna have any biological grandkids.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's 2025.
It is 2025.
And I feel like I'm pretty. I'm like dipping in down. I mean, not that way, but I may have. Kid one day and do this process whenever I get $50,000.
You so silly.
I can do that.
My thing though on any of my kids, I don't care what they do because they're people. I just always say be the best at it. So if you're gonna, no matter what it is, you can be a homeless person, be the best, have the best tent, be the best at it. That's my thing because I can't live my life for you. I can't. I never will be able to do that. And I'm not God. I'm not the person to condemn. And, that's why I love my former pastor. Shout out to Dr. Three, who preached on that about, people are people. God only had one rule. The Bible, they said over 600 rules in the Bible. But God only specifically gave one rule, and that one rule is to treat people or love people as He loves us. There's one rule. That's His rule. Okay, so man put all these little, 2 cents into the text, and then people get stuck trying to condemn people or judge people when none of us are going to live up to any of them damn rules. No. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's a sinner. Like, no, you could try your hardest. You've sinned before. Nobody is perfect. So that's why I don't understand the religious. Or I don't want to say religious, because I don't want to say that all religion and people that are religious are like that. Yeah. But the ones that we're talking about. The ones that just go out their way to just make gay people feel less than, or that we're not people, or that we're just going to hell and all these things. Maybe we are going to hell, but who are you as another person to tell me, how to live my life? Let me be the judge.
They might get to hell before you. But for real, it's like, people, it's a control thing, basically, and none of us are going to be able to stand on none of them rules, so stop playing. Right. So what is it like for you? Because you're, I'm the mother, but, it's all about you. So how has it felt? It's even funny to me because nobody, knew when you were a kid. Really? It's like you were not, I would say you were prissy because you didn't get dirty and certain things, but you were not feminine. So in my eyes, I feel like I was always not blatantly gay. Even because I had a period when I did attempt to date women, the girl, but I feel like I was always kind of feminine. I did play sports and things. I did try everything, basketball, football, every sport. But I just did it for the fun of it, and I just felt like I was so much more feminine than all the other boys. I just always felt like I was always more feminine than a lot of the other boys, and I don't know. It was. I've always, I guess, felt comfortable in a way, even though I was scared to blatantly tell you, just hey, I'm gay. But I always felt comfortable in a way because you always were around gay people. You had gay friends. You supported gay people. I've never seen you say nothing negative. Whole family. Even some people they say subtle jokes they're not homophobic, but they be the gay I don't know. They just say subtle shade. So it's subtle shade to gay people. Stop acting like a fag. Men say those kind of things, or they don't mean it, but those little joke things that people say. You've never done that, so I never really felt uncomfortable per se, which is why I feel like I've always acted kind of feminine. I wasn't like a flamer, which is if you are do your thing, but I don't know. I guess I have my own form of femininity. Even now, that I'm openly gay, I feel like I have my own androgyny. I'm I wear makeup, but I'm still me. I don't really have a label. I really don't like labels at all because of that reason. I'm just me. This is true too, and I can't say that all. I'm not saying that all gay men, particularly, are feminine. I'm not saying that all gay women are going to be studs. So that's right. Not the thing. It's just I never had any inkling or idea. And I don't know. I guess maybe because the kids and being a teacher, being around kids all the time, there are kids I can blatantly point out and say, yeah, I know that baby's gonna be gay, blatantly. But some people do. Yeah. Maybe those are the ones that are flaming. Maybe it's just that. And now, you can't easily identify a kid that is not flaming to be that way. Mm-hmm. Now, and on the reverse, there's some kids that you think gonna be thizzle gangsters, and they end up being gay, and they're still thizzle gangster, but they're just gay, So people are just people. Yeah. And I guess that's why I've always been accepting of people. I don't care, long as you, as long as your heart is right, your spirit's right. Yeah. I'll fool with you. I don't care how much money you have, what you look like, your past or whatever. As long as your spirit's right when you around me. Right. I'm big on energy. Big on energy. That's everything. So yeah, I've never not. Shout out to my mama. She was like that. She had all kinds of friends. She's always, always been around gay people. Just gay people. Everybody's family. It's not a thing. It's a thing for our society, but it's really not a thing at the end of the day. It's just people want to find something to point out about people. but you ain't pointing out the pedophiles. You gonna point out the gay, cause you know what I'm saying.
Right.
We're just weird here. I don't know. And so our family wasn't like that. We didn't care. Even if the family, like somebody made a joke about somebody being gay, it was still jokingly. You're still gonna love on you. We're not gonna, It's just I don't know. It's just people that are I don't know. I guess I don't know any other way to compare. I'm blessed to have an open family, come from an open family, who was loving, in that way. Although we were poor, but everybody was free, no matter what your habit was, and that's what I saw with my grandmother, She didn't care. You can go there. Hey, you can smoke your stuff. You smoke outside. She got something in the cooler for you, whatever. It was.
Just do what you do.
I just thought that was normal. As long as you're respectful about what you do, shoot, go for it.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of like I always had that in the back of my head. Like I knew that like you and the family specifically were accepting, but like it's such a thing in our community. Like I wanted to touch on is like Black people, and I feel like in the Black community we are so accepting of like. So like you could do anything but be gay. Like you could be a murderer. You could be anything. Like you could be like you said a pedophile. The uncle touching on you, all this and that. The little brother, little cousin is out here thugging and all that. That's fine and dandy. But as soon as somebody's gay, it's like the end of the world for our community. And I guess that's why it took me so long to come out. Which I don't feel like I didn't take too long to come out, but. Because some people come out like real, they come out, or they never come out.
Yes. It's like not even spoken of within the family. I see that often.
Mm-hmm. But for those reasons that I'm saying, like, it's like, in our community, like, that's something that we really need to work on. It's like, why is gay, like, the end-all, be-all? Even with religious people that we were talking about earlier, I feel like those kinds of people, those kinds of religious people, not all religious people, but those kinds,
we're condemning.
It's like, you can do everything. You can have kids out of wedlock, and you could be married and cheat and do all this and everything.
But you better not be gay.
But you can't be gay.
No, but you can't be gay and male. Because I see that the lesbian women are more, it appears.
It's accepting.
It's more accepting in Black society than the gay male.
They love a stud. The stud, that's the bro. That's, But as soon as it's a gay man, it's like, like, get out of here with that gay shit. Like, and it's like, what? Like,
It just makes you wonder, like, is it that there are still so many homophobic Black men, because it seems like being more of a man thing. Now, there are women who haven't adapted or, I'm talking about my generation younger, because older, they were set in their ways, even if they were, just like a lot of, I won't say all, I'm not speaking for all in the situation and circumstances that we're speaking of, but there are a lot. It was just, you were on the down low, older than me. Younger than me, at my age, whatever, it was okay, and society started to accept it more and more and more, and especially depending on where you're from. A lot of areas, there's still areas where it's, it's a horrible thing, but there's still areas, even like here, New Orleans, this is the freest city I've ever been in my life.
For Black people.
Yes. For Black people.
Yes.
No, I'm going to say in general. I'm going to take that back, because what made me say that in relation to being gay is this is the first city I've been in and seen flaming white gay men. I have never seen that before in any other city, not in San Francisco. We well traveled. When I got here, that's when I seen the white man with the purse. Okay, the white man with the crop top. I had never saw that. Now, you see a little bit here and there back in the Midwest or whatever, but I mean, it's everywhere here.
Yeah.
And in other ethnicities too. Asian, flaming Asian, flaming Hispanic men. I never saw that till I came here. And it's like, well, nobody looks twice or says anything. Like, nobody's really, you don't see people be as homophobic as they are. Yeah. Back in the Midwest. It's like,
That was one of the things I was really worried about before moving here, was like living in the South and like how they were going to treat me for my sexuality and like also my race, even though I'm very light skinned. Like, I was scared. I was like, how will they treat Black people? How will they treat me as a gay man, in the South? And surprisingly, moving here, they were so accepting. They were like, why are you nervous? And then I go out in the club, and it's like, there's trans people. There's people in the middle, androgynous people. There's so many different types of people. Disabled people. There's so many. They're just
blended. Everybody's blended.
white people, black people, Mexican, purple,
Mhm.
blue. Like it's
Mhm.
so many different types of
Mhm.
people. And I'm like, wow, like everybody's accepted. Nobody's laughing at this person or
Point to
singling
that.
somebody out.
Yeah.
It's just it's not a taboo. It's open.
Mhm.
It is very vibrant and living. I love it. It made me feel very comfortable. So
So I guess what's meant to be will be. So it's a reason why you ended up here in New Orleans versus being in Prairie View, Texas.
yeah. And I'm actually so happy about it too because I feel like this is right on my speed. This city allowed me to grow so much, but you're not having to like push too much because I feel like if I were to go to Houston or go to LA or Miami, the places that I did want to go to,
Mhm.
you're pushing so fast. Like everybody's trying to get to the top like so
Yeah.
fast, and it's expensive, so you have to be at the top to live there, you know? And I feel like being here, it's okay. You can take your time. You can get to know people. You can grow. You know, it is crabs in a bucket. I will say in some aspects, but
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
not like
As
a
competitive,
race to.
maybe.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like you can make it. I feel like if
Okay.
you can make it here, but you can make it like to the bigger city. Like this is just it's like the start. This is like the trial run.
Okay.
It's easier to do. I would say.
Yeah, because it has a little bit of both feel. It feels urban, but it still feels country.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of everything. It's a gumbo here. That's a
Yeah.
good word to describe New Orleans with as far as the culture and the people. It's
Yes.
gumbo. It's a mixture of everything.
Mhm.
It's a vibe.
It's very
It's a total
complex.
vibe.
It is a
Total.
vibe. It's so much to do. That's what I love about here. It's so much to do, and it's like that is so fulfilling. Like not having to just wait on like an event next month or like it's like you can meet people anywhere. You can do. It's always something to do. There's something for everybody.
There is.
You don't have to feel like
Except for kids.
yeah.
Sorry.
They trying though. They trying to like build.
I will give
Ain't no
Kansas
kids.
City that. Kansas City has a lot of things for kids to do.
Yeah.
Here, it's like poor babies, but they're outside doing things because of that.
They
In
are.
Kansas City, you don't see kids outside doing things as much. So that's the give and take, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're an adult, there's plenty to do, honey, especially if you're extroverted. The hardest problem I probably had with being here is finding out what I'm going to do because there's so many things to do.
Yeah.
So would you say as a gay black man, there are still plenty for you to do as far as your community? I won't say, out in the masses because you can be out in the masses. That's not even a thing. But what about being gay and black in that world? Is it a big scene here?
That's a good question because we talk about this so often. It's actually not. Like they used to be, like as I was told before I moved here, like it used to be so much, especially pre-Katrina. It was a lot of black gay things, even black lesbian things, and like just queer in general. Now I don't feel like there's a lot of black gay things. There's a lot of black things. I will say there's a lot of black bars, and there's a lot of that good music, R&B, hip hop, whatever you like. Even black country, there's a spot for you. But black gay, right at the moment, we're so limited, and that's actually one of my goals, though, is to open up a bar, and I want it to be for everybody, of course, but I want it to be for the black gay men and women and just, black queer people in general. I want that to be that area for them because it's so limiting here. We only have like 2 spots now, like
Okay.
2, yeah, and that's it. And we had another spot, the bar I worked at, and they ended up burning down, unfortunately. So
Okay.
it's just so it's real limited right now,
Okay.
and we need more spaces. We need more than just those 2 spaces. Which those spaces are so great. We love them, and we definitely appreciate them. But we just need something different, something new.
Yeah, just something different. That's why this doesn't have to be competitive because everybody has something unique to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody can hate on that or whatever. Even though it's always gonna be a hater, but. Okay,
Yes.
so that's interesting. Yep. So from makeup, so yeah, it can be makeup. We're waiting on the line. Hopefully that's coming soon.
I tried to do a line, and it wasn't working for me. But I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna do my research this time. I really take the time because I don't want to put out a bad product. I feel like a lot of people are so quick to just like, oh, I want to do this makeup line, or I want to do a skincare line, and they just get a vendor and go. And I'm like, no, I want to do what will actually work for me and my clients, and that's what I've been trying to find. But it becomes expensive. All them samples, it is expensive after a while.
Yes.
But I want it to be right, and I want it to be. It was a lyric in the song. When you're credible, I just want to be credible. I just want to be. I just want to have notoriety. That's what I want. I just want to have notoriety. I just want. They can have the famous and the viral and all that. I want my product to be good because it's good. I want it to be a good product, and I want it to be for black women and people of color in general.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of makeup on the market right now, they're trying, and a lot of brands are trying to, be inclusive and add these products.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very few makeup lines that are made for black women and made for all shades of black women.
Okay. It's like Fashion Fair.
Yeah.
For years.
They
Was,
need
yeah, only brand, top line quality brand for a while for, women with darker complexions. So yeah, and I don't even know if it's Fashion Fair. I don't even know, if that's still easily accessible, I'll say.
Mm-hmm. They just rebranded. I actually did an event with them at Sephora.
I don't know if they have as many products as they used to have.
Okay.
I'll say that. You don't see, it's not as heavily advertised, that type of thing. But there are more brands now for people of color. So
yeah,
there's a little more competition than there was, 30, 40 years ago.
I feel like they're really trying, like I said, they're trying to be very inclusive. So they are adding these deeper shades, or some brands are specifically for the deeper shades, which is great. But I want to be a brand for all the shades, even the lighter shades that, black women comes in. All people of color come in all shades.
Right.
Like
ethnic people. Yes.
So I want to be for all shades, and I want to get it right. Like, I feel like a lot of these brands, they don't have a makeup artist behind the brand. It's just somebody trying to start a brand.
Okay.
And a lot of the time there's these influencers and these celebrities, but they're not catering to the client. Every brown person, every black person, every person of color is not
same shade,
yellow and orange undertone or red, and not all of them are like extra neutral where they're like grayish. No, like there's olivey, there's people with blue and olive, and there's neutral where there's just so many different types.
Yeah, we're so mixed up here. I mean, people, native Black Americans who were born from here, and parents and generations are from here. We are so blended and mixed with so many other ethnicities that a lot of those other hues do come out. You can't just find one specific. It's hard anyway to find one specific color or foundation that's gonna be great. We just got in a conversation about the Lancome. That's high end brand, and one brand, one color is almost there, the other was too dark. It's hard to find that shade that you can say, okay, this is your shade. Yeah. And this looks good. And like you said, you don't look gray like you're, in a coffin. Or orange. I don't want to look orange. It's hard to find that happy medium. I'm not yellow, but I'm not orange, but I'm not red. It's like, finding that shade. Oh man, foundation's a chore. That's why I am not a makeup wearer, because it's just too much. Even like the process, the application. That's why you're employed, because that's a lot of work. I thought it was just, my little 5-minute routine, foundation, look, some mascara, some lipstick. No, but there is really levels to doing makeup. It really is a talent. So I'm really proud of you. Self-taught.
Yeah. YouTube University. Yeah. Right. Get your degree, girl.
I know that's right. Yeah. You come a long way. Just, putting yourself out there and doing it.
Thank you. I really did try. And I think it's because I have such a passion for it that it looks like more than a job. I feel like people go into these beauty crafts and they're like, I know how to do it. They know how to apply the makeup. They know how to curl hair. They know how to do an updo. They know how to do these styles, but they don't have the passion in it. And I feel like it can become so stagnant, and everybody starts to look the same. They do the same thing, and which works for you. But I'm a person, I'm an artist. I looking at everything. I'm looking at your face structure. I'm trying to enhance what you got, but I'm doing it my way, And I think that's what my favorite part of doing makeup is. My clients always be like, oh my goodness, I love this. This fits my face. This girl, one of my videos, she did a voiceover, and that's one of the things she was saying was I never had my face mapped out like this. And I was like, thank you, because I really try to look at every piece, and I'm so passionate about it. And you
gotta be passionate. If you don't like it, don't do it. And that's just, I'm so glad. I'm glad. It's bittersweet for me, because I'm at that point in my life where if I don't love it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't want to be miserable. I've been in positions and even doing something that I love, but I was still miserable doing it. That means it's time to take a break. Time to do something different. Time to elevate. Within your craft or whatever. So that's what I was like, doing hair. 25 plus years. It's just, and it comes natural to me. I do it, my fingers just move. I can't tell you how I'm able to do certain things with hair, but I just do it.
It's your art.
It's my, I guess, a blessing. I'll say it's a gift. It's, I'm creative in that way, but it got to the point where I just, my hands are hurting, my feet are hurting, I'm tired. The customers is griping, you're not getting tipped like you used to. It, just you learn to. It happens. You get burned out in any field, and I was just burned out. Like, I don't want to do this. So if I go back to that, I want to just do something that's not so, strenuous on my hands and feet. Something that I find easy. I can get in, do a great job, get paid, and move on.
Yeah.
So I'm like you. I'm like, I don't want to work where it feels like work. It's like working out. I don't want to work out where I feel like I'm working out.
Yes, it makes you not want to go.
And it makes you not want to go. That's why I despise a treadmill. Oh gosh, yes, people laugh at me. I'm like, I feel like I'm a hamster. I'm like,
yes, it does feel like that.
Like, you have to really psychologically be very strong to just be like, and people are like, oh, you can watch a movie or something, but that's
no. It's the walking in place. I'm not going nowhere.
I want to move. I want to see some trees. I want to smell the aroma of the outside. Like, I want to do it outside. If I jog or I walk, I want to do it outside. I want to meditate and just see some different scenery. Like I said, everything. I want everything to affect my senses, the smells, everything, the grass, the whatever. So, don't do what you hate, honey.
Yeah.
A lot of people have jobs they hate. I've been there. I had a job that I was crying going to every day. I mean, I'm boo-hooing in the car, boo-hooing, hate the job. And it wasn't even the job. It was just, I didn't like people. The job was great.
A big part of it.
A lot of times it's the people or it's your supervisor that makes a world of difference in what you're doing.
Yeah. I feel that. Okay. Yeah. If you could have like anything, like, I know you like doing hair, but like if you could do anything, what would you do for work? Right
now, I would love to just do body waxing.
Really?
I would just do body waxing.
Okay.
I just like that. It's quick. You're spending, and I don't care about the body part. They don't bother me. I'm like, I don't get grossed out.
See, I don't want to see no cooter cat. Like, I don't want to see no. I don't see nothing. Like, I don't want to see nothing.
I'll wax the hell out of all of that. I will. I'm sorry, the asshole. I will wax that. Now, I will have a mask on. Professionally.
Goggles. Like, I need a hazmat.
But you so silly with the hazmat. I will do that. Like, I will do that. I'll make sure it's nice and neat, and I don't know. I just like that. I'm considering doing Sister Lives, getting certified in that. Depending on how long, but I don't want to be 3 hours on top of anybody's head. I want you in and out.
Yeah, and them girls wait a long time for that though. They need 6 hours, for the braids and stuff.
I can't.
Hair.
I got ADHD, but I'm not sitting that long. I'm not. That's
what do you do for 6 hours?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's what really though made me a decent teacher, because I get it, baby. I don't want to sit here. I don't like sitting in meetings like for hours, just sitting. That is torture. Still and quiet are not my things. I'm sorry. I got to get up, move around, try to go to the bathroom. I have to do something. I cannot just sit there. So apply to the women to get those braids. Sit for those 3, 4, 5 hours, however long it is. I got about a 2-hour maximum. After that, I might have to come back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's like when I comb my traditional locks out. Woo! Shout out to Naisha. Shout out to you, girl. 10 days, 10 hours a day. There's no way. And it was rough for me sitting. I can't imagine her, being on top of my head. And she's combing each lock out. I mean, whew.
She did that, though.
She did that. Shout out Naisha.
That's why you got paid, girl. You got to do what you got. Thank you.
Well,
appreciate you.
I don't know what shop you're in, honey, but girl, you hit me up. I'll give you some promo, because she did that. And she was so gentle about it.
I know that.
And I think she braided my hair before. She was gentle with that. So yeah. Not everybody's gifted, has just that natural gift of doing hair, or doing any kind of service. Some people are just natural, like they don't have to be taught much. You just show them the way, and they just take it and run with it, and they're gentle with
nature.
it. Yeah, she wasn't pulling my brains out, and ooh. Yeah.
That can change the experience for sure. So you're a teacher, you're a hairstylist. What else do you do? Or is that
what have I done is a better question. I've been a phlebotomist. I worked let me just roll back, because I've had a job ever since I was 14.
Okay.
So we're talking about
a real hustler.
Yeah, so I've been working over 30 years collectively in my life, legally working, as a kid, when I was a little kid and couldn't get a job or whatever, I would cut grass or rake leaves or babysit, those type of things. But working, getting a W-2, 31 years, and started out working in a restaurant as a bus girl. Then went every fast food restaurant as a teenager. My mama she never bought name brand clothes. So that's my backstory. I had to have a job as soon as I could get a job, because my mother, bless her heart, single mother, welfare, that whole thing. didn't have much. She had 3 daughters. She wasn't buying. I'm in the generation you had to wear them J's, or you had the new, the name brand, or whatever brand that was in trending at that time, should I say? And my mother wasn't buying it. We're going to thrift store. We're going to Venture, Kmart. Shout out those my age know about Venture in the Midwest. Venture was like, I kind of compared to Target. I guess that's the closest thing, because it was like, it wasn't Walmart, but it I don't know, it wasn't high end, but it was nice, decent. But it was still Venture, so you're not getting any labels. I came up with the label generation, so I had to, I got teased in school. I got teased a lot. So that's why I always stand up for my students. I don't play that teasing, that bullying stuff, because I've been there and I know how it is. I've been on both ends. I ain't gonna act like I ain't bullied nobody, because I've been mean girl. Let's be real here. And it wasn't that person's fault. It was my fault. Trying to be cute, trying to show out. Anywho, mother wouldn't buy anything brand new, no Nike tennis shoes, whatever. So I got a job so I can have money in my pocket and buy those things. So yeah, that's why I've worked ever since, and so many different things. I've been a teacher. I've worked with adults teaching GED classes. I've worked with high school. I've worked with middle school. I worked with elementary at one point in time, and Lord, God bless elementary teachers. I just don't have it in me. I don't have that kind of patience.
That's a special kind of person, That's a lot of patience, and you have to take them everywhere.
You gotta walk them everywhere, take them there. I'm like, I just don't have that kind of patience. You have to have a lot of patience for that. I like the older ones because they're like already potty trained. They know how to make a sandwich. They can, just like baby said. I prefer the older ones, and that can be something too. It has its days. I went from high school down to middle school because I was getting stalked by a high school student. I don't even know who it was, because it was weird and creepy. Yeah, I don't do children. Like it was creepy.
Trying to add you on social.
Creepy. Oh man, was sending me videos.
Oh yes.
My God. And also was these tennis shoes. Like I had to block, report. Like it was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, it got creepy. So I went down to the middle school level, and I taught 6th and 8th. I never did 7th. They were kind of weird to me. I don't know, in the hallways at the school I was working at the time. So I'm like, I don't think I want to do 7th. 6th, the first couple years, because I started teaching 6th grade during COVID. So it was great the first year. The first part of it, first semester, was online. I loved online teaching. Love, love, love. I thought I was even half and damn entertaining. I did. I thought,
You kept them entertained online?
Huh?
You kept them entertained online?
Best I could, best I could. We're sitting here looking at each other on the computer. At least we can laugh. I have a joke or something. I'm just not a quiet, like I said, still person. Throw a joke in there, laugh, smile. Don't hate your job. And it was cool. And then we went back to school physically, and I can't remember, Lord. It might have been like some days in person, some days virtually, because we were transitioning back, after COVID, whatever. And it was okay, but it was kind of weird because we're acclimating the kids to get back into the school structure. Mm-hmm. They were wild, like they're used to being at home, so they're sleepy. It was just crazy. They were wild. They weren't used to being in a classroom. It had been a couple years since they've been in a classroom with other kids. So you've been home wild, and mom may be gone because she's got to work. If you're in a single family household, like I grew up in, even though my mother didn't work, or your mother's in the background smoking blunt. I saw some stuff on Zoom. People was peopling. Yeah, naked mom. All that stuff. They little jokes they made. They had little memes and stuff in the news. Yeah, we saw all that during the Zoom sessions with the kids. It was interesting. Bless them.
In the bed sleep.
Yeah, the bed sleep, or a kid right there in the bed with them. Mama's got the bonnet on, laid over in the bed. I don't knock it. I don't judge, but it was there. I have some stories. Mm-hmm. But yes, the book is coming. The book is coming. I'm working on it. It's coming. Trust me. Just on that experience alone, from the last 5 years. So COVID to the last time I was in the classroom. I mean, whew, baby. The kids were different. So then I went to 8th grade. I'm like, okay, kids, 6th grade, a little wild, a little young. Let me go to 8th grade. 8th grade, they thought they were grown. So, I tell you, they put me in a position to go to jail. No. You're my size. You're not going to be cussing me out. I'm here trying to help you. I'm not cussing at you. I'm not mean to you. I'm nothing but respectful. So that was different too. Again, this is the urban core, very poor urban core. So this is what I'm going through. Whew. And then, I don't want to blame the kids because the system, I don't want to blame my supervisor. I don't want to blame my district, but the system, the way it was, kids could cuss you out. They were more of clients than students. So I had to treat the kid like a client. They're cussing me. I can't cuss back. I'm good. I got good cuss words in my mouth. Make my teeth white. But I can't cuss you.
Yes, that's what
Like, and then so you think, okay, a kid's tripping. Let me call home. The mom kicks you out. I'm getting threatened. I'm gonna meet me in the parking lot. Meet me at Quick Trip around the corner. I'm like, are they serious? I'm trying to help you with your child who's utterly disrespectful, who's been given chances. Because I try not to write kids up. I'm not that one. I'm working with kids who look like me. Who already have the world against them. I'm here to help you, and still, that's the reception I got from the parents. It was crazy, seeing so much. So 8th grade was a little too grown. So I went back to 6th grade, and really, just in the last 2 years, they weren't so it wasn't so bad. Really, the last year, 2 years, they're still they still a little wild, and they don't want you to suspend kids. I get that. Kids can't learn if they're not there. I get that, but it was a thing where kids feed off of each other, and if you got 2-3 bad apples in your room, I call them classroom cancers. They affect the rest of the room. They affect them, and so now everybody's like acting away, and especially if they know that, oh, here's Sally Sue. She didn't get in trouble. She did this, this, this. They didn't see them get sent home or suspended. Or Sally Sue might have the kind of parent that they don't care if they got suspended. They come back to school with some new shoes on. So kids see that, and they, with their kid brain, they want to mimic those behaviors. But it's different. I guess the households are different. I was a single mom. I was a young mom. I think I had you at 22, about to be 23. So, but I still couldn't see myself not being supportive of your teachers trying to deal with you. Now, I was fortunate and blessed that you were a good child. You were well behaved. Like, you've never been a behavior issue. I'm sorry, your brother. But I would still support the teacher, even with your brother. I know how far my kid will go. I know how far he goes. Now, he's not gonna get to even disrespect me at my house. So why am I gonna let him go over there and disrespect you? And sometimes it is a personality conflict with teachers and students. You just don't gel. But I'm a teacher. I'm going to try to meet you where you are. I'm always going to be respectful. I'm here because I care about you. Like I said, most of the students look like me, even the ones that didn't. I had students that were white, loving to pieces. I kind of felt for them. Like, you go to school with these baby kids. This is a culture shock for a lot of them if they didn't grow up, in this neighborhood or used to going to school. You come from a suburban district of mostly white kids, and you come over here with mostly black kids. It was totally different. Totally different. So, I loved all my babies. We had a big Muslim population of kids. We had a lot of ELL kids. They don't even speak English.
What's the English?
English. Yes, English language learners. It's like a
language learners. English.
So you come from Honduras, El Salvador, or wherever in the Middle East, and you speak no English, but you're still in the classroom half a day with English-speaking American kids.
So they don't even really be knowing what's going on.
They don't. They just looking at me deer stuck in headlights. And so I'm trying to be relatable. Horrible. Well, I mean, can you imagine? That makes that makes them strong. That makes them that much stronger, because I can't see myself moving to another country. I said, I don't speak the language, and I'm stuck with these kids in this culture that I know nothing about.
Yeah. Well, I will say, when I did go to, because y'all don't know, I went to an all Spanish elementary school growing up, and that was how they taught. They taught every subject besides English, of course, in Spanish. So you're reading and everything, you're writing. You know how you would normally call that English class? That was Spanish. English was just literally just learning the English language. It wasn't reading books and talking about what did the author mean.
It wasn't language arts.
Language art, that's the word. So it kind of does help you in a way. They don't know how to say it back, but they understanding you. You start saying certain words and certain commands, they understand what those words mean. Learning a different language in general, you start to pick up on certain words. You're like, okay, I don't really know what the whole sentence means, but I understand like what you're trying to tell me.
Yes.
Yep. So I hope that it's working out for them. Like, normally that's.
Yeah, I just felt for them, and I treat every kid the same. I don't care if you're disabled, if you're from a different country, don't speak English. I'm going to love on you the same, and when you do wrong, I'm going to get in your butt the same. That's the kind of teacher I was and am and always will be. We're all going to be all inclusive. We're all going to be equals. I'm not going to show favoritism, even if you're my favorite baby, okay? Because, as a teacher, you got your ones that you just, man, you do anything for. They just melt your heart. But I'm going to treat you all the same. So favorite student, and that I never tell the other kids is my favorite student, even though you're my favorite student in my heart, you're messing up right now, and I got to get with you. And I explain it to them. A lot of teachers, they don't take time to talk to kids as if they're people. Kids are just people.
They're
people.
Just younger.
They're just younger. I'm the same person I was, 30, 40 years ago, whatever. I'm just in an older body. I try to hold on to that person too, that youthful. I try to make wiser decisions, of course, because you evolve and you know better. So you should be better, essentially. But I'm still a kid at heart. I like having fun. I like laughing. I don't want to sit and be quiet and so I
go to work all day. Can't do it. No.
But some people that's them. And I don't want to call them robots or whatever. There's some people that can do that one job or whatever, working for somebody, getting that paycheck, and that's okay. And that's okay if that's for you. It's not for everybody. But you just gotta know thyself and put yourself in a position where you can be happy with what you do. Because if you don't like your job, everybody knows it. It shows. Everybody knows. Like your energy, everything. And like I said, I've had some jobs, honey. That's funny. So yeah, I'm interested to see what it's like here culturally as far as the school system and how the kids behave. So I get the opportunity. I can be sub. Go when I feel like it. And I'm not held to the testing standards and this, that, and the third. I can kind of, feel my way out. And because it's so different here in the school system, back in Kansas City, you have the Kansas City Public School District. Then every area had their own school district that was public. Here, you have several public little systems. You have a plethora of charters and parochial schools. So it's not all just one united. So that's why I'm like, let me just see how each little diverse system functions, and how the kids are and what the school does, to assist kids and reprimand kids and transition them back in the classroom. Because, whew, honey, it's a different world in the modern day public school system. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, even from when you were a kid, it's different, I'm sure, in school. School is just different.
It is. Yeah. So I was saying, even after COVID, like everything, it always changes, I guess,
Yeah, and then generationally, it's going to change because there are things that are normal. I won't even say normal. There are things that kids are exposed to now that they never would have been exposed to, 30, 40 years ago, or even 20 years ago. I didn't have the internet in school. We had Encyclopedia Britannica, A to Z books, and that's how you found out about the world. There was no reality TV, So first glimpse of reality TV I can remember was Cops. Cops was reality TV. They were arresting people, whatever. And then came Jerry Springer.
Okay.
That was reality TV. Then The Real World came out, and that was like the beginning shows where you saw a regular, the average Joe on TV doing something, and a glimpse of their life, which has really evolved now because that's scripted and some of that gets weird. And,
yeah, it does.
They make a reality show about anything, And people will just embarrass themselves, act a fool. The things we'll do for a check. The things people will do for a check.
Right. It's crazy.
It is crazy, but you just never know what people are going through or why they hungry for money in the way that they will sell their soul. But it's a thing, people are always gonna be people. I ain't gonna call it good or bad. That's your life. Make the most of it.
That's all you can do. Yes.
All right. Well, shoot, that sums up all my questions I have for you. It was good to kind of get into your world now that I'm here.
It's been a minute. It's a couple years,
Yeah.
We've seen each other when I come home, but that's like once a year, so we don't really get time to sit down and talk and just
chillax,
vibe.
Yeah. Now in your world. So yeah.
This was great.
Yes.
Very come anymore.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. This is very therapeutic. So, if you don't like this and you're watching this, you ain't gotta like us no more. You ain't gotta watch us no more. It's fine.
Thank you for tuning in though.
Yeah, but if you do like it, please don't hesitate. Like, share, subscribe. You can leave your comments in there. And we'll take all the criticism, I hope, and go from there. But hey, it's your world. Live your life the best you can be. And just understand that the world is greedy, rude, overbearing, willful, and very negligent right now, but that does not have to be you.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the Grown Podcast, where grown people have real conversations. Until next time.